Hi everyone, happy Friday. Welcome back to our bonus workshop that was added at the last minute. So well done for spotting it in your timetable. Today we have two things happening. So right now we have the Building with Story SDK workshop run by Jacob from Story. And then up next we have a partner workshop, which is all about using directing AI with Ava Studio, which is going to be a really, really useful workshop for those of you who are interested in tackling the AI video bounty within the buildathon. So there's something for everyone today. We're going to jump right in and get started because we have lots to get through. So I'm going to invite Jacob up to stage to join me for the first part of today's workshop. Jacob, I've sent you an invite, so hopefully you should be seeing that on your screen. If not, please let me know in chat and we can check. I see Jacob's getting ready. That's great news. So I hope everyone has enjoyed the workshops that we've had so far this week, and you're potentially in the ideation phase of your projects at the moment. A reminder that if you want feedback on your idea, then have a post in the Encode Discord or on the Story Discord and ask for some feedback from our mentors who would love to support you. I'm hoping Jacob will be joining me in a sec. Jacob, could you put a message in chat if there's something? Oh, you're here. Nice.
All right. What's up, everybody? Hey, Rebecca.
Hi, Jacob. Thanks for joining us and adding this workshop into the mix. We did have some questions at our Wednesday workshop, more specifically about the SDK. So hopefully today should be really helpful for everyone as well.
For sure. Yeah. No, I know Romain. I hope all of you saw Romain's workshop. I think it was on Tuesday for a great overview of the protocol. Today we're going to be doing all the TypeScript SDK stuff.
Nice. We can jump right in if you want to share your screen.
Sure. Let's do it. Just give me one moment here. Just make sure I have everything set up on this end. Okay. Okay, cool. Can all of you see my screen? I'm going to X out this thing over here. I'm actually going to pull this over to my other screen here so I can see your comments.
Yes, can see.
Okay, perfect. All right. So welcome everyone to the SDK workshop. Again, if you're just sort of rolling in here, Romain from the Story team actually did a workshop of building with Story 101 on Tuesday. And that was, for the protocol, right? That was for if you're a smart contract developer. But if you're like myself and you aren't really a smart contract developer and you would prefer the SDK, that is what you're going to be learning today. So I see a lot of people in chat. If you have questions at all during this workshop, of course, let me know. And we always have our builder Discord available. I think, that is discord.gg/storybuilders. If you type that into your search bar, it'll bring you right to the Story Discord, and that's where I help answer questions pretty much all day. So, there's never a stupid question. You can always ask there. And I really encourage you to do so because I'm sure you're going to have a lot of questions during the buildathon. Let me just quickly mention that on the SDK side, we have two things available. We have both the TypeScript and Python SDK. Both actually have full compatibility at this point. So in the past, the Python SDK was a little bit behind, and it might still be in some very small areas, but they're pretty much the same at this point. So if you're a Python developer, that's great news. We have a full SDK for you. And if you're a TypeScript SDK developer, then that's even better because that is what I'm going to be teaching you today. So we have quite a lot of resources available, actually. We have this developers tab over here. We have full integration guidelines where you can, look at the TypeScript SDK. This shows you how to set it up, working code examples, a whole SDK reference, shows you how to register an IP, attach terms, mint a license token, right? All terms that maybe you don't really know yet, and I'll be teaching you today. And same with React. So we have a whole React setup as well, and then the smart contracts, which Romain taught you. I don't have, there isn't a Python integration guide. However, if you go to the SDK reference, you can actually switch to Python over here. And then we have a full reference available for you that you can see. And again, the way that the TypeScript SDK and Python SDK are constructed, they're very similar architecturally. It's just a different language. That's pretty much it. So I want to show you something that I actually think is really helpful. This is a demo that I built to sort of like give you like an overview of like how Story kind of works. And so let's actually just do that here together. So this is a little demo that says, welcome to the demo, right? Upload your IP, right? And so this is sort of like the flow as we go through the SDK today. I want you to think about this flow, right? So I'm going to upload an example image and I'm going to choose my license terms, right? So here's my little pizza guy. And I'm going to think about, what sort of license terms do I want to put on this pizza? Do I want them to be open use, right? Anyone can use it. Doesn't matter, right? They can, whatever they want. Or do I want to specify it can only be used non-commercially, right? Maybe that's what I want. Or maybe I want commercial use, right? Maybe I want someone to say, you know what, this, I want to say actually this costs 1 IP token. And if you want to use this in your, commercial, you have to pay me 1 IP token, right? And then there's also commercial remix, which is like, you get paid and you get, credit for it. And, you get like a rev share, right? So you get like 10% rev share of every single purchase. So I can, specify rev share. Let's say I want, 15% rev share, right? And then I want to allow AI to train on this IP. So I'm going to toggle this on. And this is the license that's going to be enforcing it. And so I say, okay, let's protect this with a legal license. And so then what's going to happen is it's protected. And now let's say it's out in the world, right? My IP was viewed, my IP is being licensed now. Now it was put on merch, right? And now it's being put in a meme. Now it's, going viral, right? So this is sort of like a simulation for how, we imagine the life cycle of an IP. And so you can see here it was put on merch. This is actually a real ecosystem app called Ablo. This is, you can check it out. It's actually really cool. You basically put licensed IP on Story under merch and you can order it and the original IP owner gets a cut from it. Maybe someone staked on the IP. Maybe they remixed it. It was used in AI training data, right? So OpenAI is going to pay me back for it. And so, all these things. And then now we can go ahead on the left-hand side and see our royalties, right? And claim our royalties. And so that's what I'm going to walk you through today is the life cycle of registration, minting a license to be able to use it on these various different things. And then lastly, claiming that revenue that we deserve from, our IP being licensed out in the world. So if you go to the TypeScript SDK integration guide, you'll see there's a tab called Working Code Examples. And if we click on that, you'll see it'll actually open up this TypeScript tutorial here. And this is something that I maintain pretty much, every single day. So you can see actually the last update was 13 minutes ago because I was getting ready for this this workshop. And whenever there's a new TypeScript release, I always make sure to update this repo so that it's the most up to date for you and totally working. And I actually have it open on my computer right here so that we can dive in together. So you'll see there's actually a bunch of scripts on the left-hand side here. And I believe actually in the README, if you scroll down here, it'll tell you exactly what each one of these scripts is doing. But there is this registration tab right here. And this is for you wanting to register your IP, right? And so there's two methods here: register and register custom. The difference is that register, right? When you look at this register file, this allows you to mint. I'll walk through all this code with you, but just to sort of skip ahead for a second, this allows you to register an IP, okay, to what's called a SVG NFT contract address. This SVG NFT contract address is basically like a Story compatible NFT collection that allows this function to auto mint NFTs for you. Because the way that it works is on Story, each IP asset is actually an NFT under the hood, but with a little extra cool stuff. And well, it's really not an NFT. It's really a token bound account, but the NFT owns the IP, right? So basically, you need an NFT to make an IP. And so instead of you having to mint an NFT beforehand and then register that NFT as IP, the SVG NFT contract address allows you to mint and register all in the same function. And so it's sort of like a utility for you to use, so that you don't have to run two separate transactions. Now, this register custom method over here, you can actually see the only difference is that this one mints an NFT beforehand using your own custom NFT contract. And then it registers that NFT that you minted right here in the registration method. So again, the only difference is the custom one allows you to make a custom NFT contract and mint beforehand and then register, whereas the SVG allows you to mint and register at the same time. And you may be asking, well, what's the point of a custom NFT? Honestly, in my time of developing on Story, I always use SVG because it's a lot faster and makes a lot more sense. But if for some reason you wanted custom NFT logic, like you wanted to prevent transfers, or you wanted to say every time this IP is transferred or the ownership is transferred, which is the NFT, it does some action, right? It maybe it pays somebody or something. Then you can make your own custom NFT contract. But just for the basic purposes, we're going to stick with the SVG, okay? So as we look at this file, there's a lot going on. I'm going to walk you through each step. So what we're going to be registering in this setup here is a song called Midnight Mirage. Now, this is if you've attended one of my workshops before, you've seen me do this a billion times. I think Robert in the chat here loves memeing this song. But it's basically a song called Midnight Mirage. Here's a basic description. What I actually did was I went on Suno. Suno, I'm sure all of you know at this point. It's basically like a AI song generation platform. It's incredible what it can do. And I just made a song on there, and I'm going to register that song here. I specified like a Unix timestamp for when it was created. We have some creator info, like this is Jacob Tucker. Here's like an example wallet I put. And I put in 100% of the work towards this IP. And then we provide some image and media info. Now, if you want to actually look at what this data is, we can go to the guides tab here, go to modules, go to metadata, and then look at the IPA metadata standard. And you can see that all the stuff I'm walking through is actually in this table right here. So you'll see that each IP should have the following things. It doesn't have to, but it's helpful information to provide. One, so that it displays properly on our Explorer, and two, for commercial reasons that I'll show you in a second. So we need a title, right? We have a title. Yep, title's right here. We need a description. We have a description. Created at image. So image is an image for your IP. Now, sometimes when you have a creative IP, the IP itself is the image, right? Like in the demo, it was the Pizza Man, right? That was my IP. And so that would, I would just provide the image here. But let's say you have audio, right? Or you're registering a video, or you're registering something else, right? You should still provide an image, just because it's best practice on the internet to provide an image with your IP, because that way it's well displayed, right? It's kind of boring if you register audio, but there's no image on it, because on our Explorer, we can't then show like a fun image. So definitely provide an image, and we give you the recommended aspect ratios here. And then a hash to your image. So you can see actually in this file, I just provided, like I computed locally the hash of this image. If you want to do that, we actually provide a lot of sample functions for you. So you can run a command directly in your shell or in your terminal that hashes the image right here. You can also use various TypeScript functions like get file hash. This takes in a file object and just gives you the hash. Or if you have it at some URL, like you uploaded it to IPFS or you're storing it somewhere, you can simply just fetch the URL and compute the hash this way. So either one works to get that hash. So then after the image hash, there's creator info, right? This is just a array of IP creators. We can see down here that this is the type of IP creator. We have to specify a name, address, and contribution percent. This is exactly what I'm providing right here. And if there were many different creators, let's say it was me and my brother and my mom, whatever it was, you would provide that all here with the contribution percent adding up to 100. Now this, it's important to distinguish that this creator info doesn't have any impact on how the protocol behaves. So it's not like if you, this metadata doesn't specify who gets what royalty or whatever. This is just for basic metadata, but it's still helpful to provide. And on things like our Explorer and Portal, which is basically like our registry for all IP, this data will show the user what the contribution percent is like. So then after the image, there is media data. This media data is to actually put the media you're registering. So if it's an image, you would put it here. If it's audio data, you would put it here. If it's a video, you would put it here. Whatever else it may be, you put it here. But the other reason that we ask you to provide these is that if your IP is going to be commercialized, meaning you're going to attach commercial terms to your IP, you actually have to provide this metadata. Reason being for the commercial infringement check that we run. So we can actually view this together. This is what's under something called the Story Attestation Service. Every time that IP is registered on Story, if it has commercial license terms on it, we will run an infringement check for you to see, well, for you and for the ecosystem to see if your IP is infringing. Now, what this means is we use a couple different providers. I think we actually scroll down here. You'll see we use Yokoa and PEX. We use both of these to basically say, like, is this IP infringing with existing IP on the internet? So if you upload your own IP, it's not going to check, right? Because, you know, it will check, but it's not going to find anything, right? Because it's your IP, it's not on the internet, you know, whatever. But if I uploaded a picture of Pikachu, right, it's going to flag it because it is scanning the rest of the internet. It knows Pikachu is already out there, and it knows that, you know, I probably didn't come up with Pikachu. And so it's going to flag it. And so that's why we ask you to provide this data, because if you don't, then we will treat it as if it's infringing because you didn't provide it. So we can't verify for the user that it's valid. And then, you know, if you do provide it and if there's no infringement, we'll show a check on our portal saying this is not infringing IP. It's good to go. And that way users who are going to license your IP and pay money to use it, right? Because they're going to be using it commercially and potentially paying a minting fee and rev share. It's going to tell them you're probably good to go, right? And so that's what we provide here. So in this metadata, you can see I provided an image. We can see the image that I'm providing here. If we go and look it up, you'll see it's this just image. But the media URL, if I go and take this and paste it up here, you'll see that this is actually audio data. It's going to play a whole song that I won't play here. Okay, great. So now we're going to move on. Now, this is where things get like a little complicated. And actually, on my end, we're actually trying to make this go away because it's kind of like pointless. But we also ask you to provide NFT metadata. The reason is because, again, there's the NFT, which represents the ownership of the IP. And then there's the actual IP, which is like a token bound account that has like license data and all that kind of stuff. We ask you to provide both, which I think is confusing because, you know, you don't really have to. What's really important is the IP metadata. However, you can also provide NFT metadata so that, for example, if you're, let's say on OpenSea, right? OpenSea is an NFT marketplace. On OpenSea, right, you can actually sell your IP asset because, again, the ownership is an NFT under the hood. So if you're like, hey, I own Mickey Mouse, right, and I don't want to own Mickey Mouse anymore. I want to sell Mickey Mouse for $10 billion. I can go on OpenSea and sell Mickey Mouse for $10 million, and it's going to transfer all the license ownership, everything, the new royalties, everything to the new owner. And so we ask you to provide NFT metadata so that if the NFT gets sold on other marketplaces, right, you can actually, display metadata this way. So again, we just provide, this is all based on like the OpenSea metadata docs. You can provide a name, a description, image, animation URL, attributes, right? And this actually all comes from the OpenSea docs. So I provided the URL in the docs here or in the tutorial here, and you can actually go and view this yourself. So you can see description, external URL, image, name, attributes, exactly what I just showed you in my cursor. So once you have your objects here, and also worth mentioning that, we actually help you format this metadata if you call the client IP asset generate IP metadata right here. If you go down here, now we're just uploading these to IPFS. So we're just using a basic function. I'm not going to spend too much time on this because, again, you can just clone this yourself and see exactly what's happening. But we have an upload JSON to IPFS function. Very simple. It's right here. And so if you want to, you can literally just copy and paste this into your project. And then, in my ENV, we can see in my ENV example here, I have a Pinata JSON web token. So all I'm doing is I'm going to pinata.cloud, right? And I'm logging in and creating a new API key. Again, if you have any questions on that, let me know, but it's very straightforward. And then, now that we have our metadata upload to IPFS, we're ready to register, right? We're actually ready to go now. And so what we're doing is we're calling this register IP asset function on our client. Now, what is our client? If we go to in the utils folder over here, you can see we have a config. And in this config, it's a good amount of code here, just so that we can easily toggle between testnet and mainnet. But if we go here, you can see that basically the client is a story client, and we're just calling the new client method here with a config. And the config, right, is right here. It's an account that we created from a private key in our env file. It's a transport, right? We're just getting this from, network info, which is essentially right here. This RPC provided URL for either testnet or mainnet. It's already set up for you. And the chain, now again, the chain ID is just coming from the network. Network is right here, right? So either we're on a NID, which is our testnet, well, that's what it's called, or our mainnet. But again, feel free to copy and paste this code into your project. All it's doing is, again, setting up an account with your private key, putting the RPC URL, which is all here for you, and the chain ID, okay? And so we're using that client now to call IP asset.register IP asset. How good would cursor be using SK? Does it hallucinate at all? So in my experience, it can sometimes. I think it always can, but there are ways of making it better. Actually, one thing that I'll show you guys that I think is actually really cool is Elang. I don't know if you're here actually. Are you here by any chance? Let me show you guys something. So someone in our community actually literally yesterday went through our entire documentation and copy and pasted every single file into one README right here. And so you can actually go into this combine.md file and literally take this link. So if you go in here and click on, I think it's like raw. If you click raw right here, you can copy this link, which is basically like all of the story docs in one file. And actually, before I forget, let me make sure to send this file to you guys. It's loading. Okay, let me send this out to you guys. You can take that file, go into cursor, go to settings. I think it's cursor settings, and you can go to what is it? Tools and MCP. No, I can't remember what it is. Is there anyone remember where the docs tab is in here? Oh, docs right here. Oh wait, is this not it? I actually forget. I'm sure someone remembers, right? Beta import settings, memories, user rules. I cannot remember. I actually have the story one already in here. You can see that. You can see that there. I'm having a live demo brain fart, which is usually what happens. Maybe it's in VS Code. No, I don't think so. But actually, oh, you know what? I actually have a tutorial on this in my own docs. Wait, let's go to using cursor with story. Oh, here we go. Go to cursor settings, features, docs. There we go. I'm helping myself here. Cursor settings, features. Oh, did they remove the features tab? That's why I'm having so much trouble. Oh, I just had to look it up. Oh, it's just called indexing and docs. Okay. So you can go to indexing and docs, click on add doc, and then you just paste the URL I showed you. So the raw URL. So if we go back and click on combined, we click on this button here. You take this link and you paste it into cursor, and now it's not going to hallucinate at all, because when you do that, it has our exact documentation. And when you're in cursor now, you can just go in here and say add story, and you can see it says indexed. I actually indexed this like 6 months ago. But you can actually do add story and then how do I register an IP asset, and it will go for you. So anyways, long-winded answer, but I only have 5 minutes left here, right, Rebecca? Because I think Holoworld is coming on. So let me actually just rush through this last part. So you call this register IP asset function. NFT, you put type mint, and SVG NFT contract, you put SVG NFT contract address. Now for testnet, we actually already provide this contract address for you. If you go to the config here, you can see it's actually already here for you. This default SVG address here. Basically, this is a default collection that has open minting, so you can just mint to it and it's no problem. However, if you want to make your own collection that only you can mint to and all that fun stuff, you can actually go to utils function, create SVG NFT collection. And it's very simple. It just makes it your own NFT collection for you. And then you can just provide the address that it logs right here. And you can provide that to the register function. And then now you have your own collection. But for testing purposes, just use the public one. And then on our IP, we want to specify certain license terms. Okay. And so on our IP, we're going to say, all right, we have license terms, right? We want to make a commercial remix. Okay. This means that we can commercialize it. We can add a minting fee. We can add a rev share. So people have to pay us if they make money, that kind of thing. So we're going to put a commercial rev share of 5. This means 5%. So if someone makes $100 with my IP, they owe me $5. And then a minting fee of 1, and we use the parse ether function. So this means that this costs 1 IP to mint. So if someone wants to use my IP, they have to pay an upfront 1 IP, okay? And then the currency is wrapped IP token, because you technically can't pay directly in IP because IP is a native currency, whereas the wrapped IP wraps it as an ERC20 so that you can actually pay with it. But don't worry, when you mint licenses on Story with the SDK, if you only have IP token, it'll auto convert to wrapped IP and then mint, and then it handles it for you. So let's just go ahead and enough talking. Let's just go ahead and do this. So if I say npm run register, if I run npm run register, let's wait a second. Hey, Rohit, welcome. I only have a couple more minutes here, so we're actually kind of wrapping up here. But Holoworld is going to come on after, I think. So you can see here, boom, we have an IP AID, we have a transaction hash and license term. So let's actually open this link right here. Oops, open this link. And we should see on the portal, it's going to take a second to load. So let me actually let this load while I keep talking. We officially registered the IP, right? Now, let me just show you something really quickly in the last 2 minutes. What if we want to now mint a license to this IP, right? Someone else comes in and they want to mint a license now, okay? So I'm going to go in and I'm going to take that IP we just created, okay? I'm going to replace it here and the license terms. So the license terms ID is 1813. Let's go ahead and put that right here, okay? So this function is already set up to mint 1. You can see the amount is 1. Mint 1 license from this IP with this ID. Okay, so we're gonna pay the 1 IP minting fee. We're going to agree to the terms and mint the license, and it's going to mint the license to the wallet that's running the transaction. If you want to, you actually could also provide a recipient here. I think so, a receiver, and this actually could mint the license to someone else. But in this case, it's going to mint it to us. So let's run npm run mint license, and again, this is paying the 1 IP minting fee. And it's going to give us the license directly. And let's wait for it to go through. There we go. So there's the transaction. This is the ID of the license we have now. And now, if someone was like, hey, you don't have a license to use this or blah, 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 right? You now have the license and you can prove that on the blockchain, which is really awesome. Again, if you were to now earn money, you're now legally bound, right, to make the payment on chain or off chain, right? It doesn't matter, as long as you're making the payment, and agreeing to the terms. Okay. And now, lastly, because we paid 1 IP token, right, to the IP owner, now we want to simulate what is it like for the IP owner to claim their revenue. So the last thing I'm going to do is if I go do royalty here, claim revenue. I'm going to put the IP owner's address, right, the one that we put right here, and I'm going to run npm run claim revenue. And we should see that it claims 1 IP because that's what the user paid, okay? And then I'm going to hop off here because I think we got someone else coming up. While that's running, we'll see that this is now loading. There it is. There's our IP. Here's the audio in the Explorer. We can see the creator info. We can see the license info right here, right? So you actually prove it has a license on it. We can actually see our raw IP metadata that we provided. All is good. And in the terminal, we see that it claimed one. Well, this is a huge number because it's in way. But in Ether, this is one IP, right? So perfect. I'm done. Race to the finish line. Boom. Thumbs up. If you have any questions, let me know in the Discord. Okay, I think Rebecca,
Yeah. If now is a good time to stop, if you really want to show us one more thing, then we can. But otherwise, our speakers for the second part of the workshop are here with us.
Awesome. Let's give them the time. Thanks, everybody.
Cool. So for those of you who've joined us late and didn't realize that we had an SDK workshop going on, the recording will be available after the session, so you can catch up. But for now, we're going to move on to the second part of the workshop, which is led by the hologram team. So we have Kim, who I need to try and find. Got a very busy room. Here you are. We have Kim and we have Bitcoin Palmer coming up to present Ava Studio. As I said at the start, this is going to be a really useful workshop for those of you who are interested in competing for the AI video track, which I'm sure lots of you are. You are allowed to compete for the AI video track as well as build a technical project for one of the other bounties. So this is definitely a really useful workshop to attend that I hope you're looking forward to. Kim, welcome, and Bitcoin Palmer, welcome. Thank you for joining us. I will hand over the stage to you and you can introduce us to Ava Studio.
Thank you, Rebecca, for the intro. Hey, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to the Directing with AI workshop, part of the Story Protocol generative video track. As Rebecca mentioned, I'm Bitcoin Palmer, and joining me is Kim from the Holoworld team. He's a legendary AI video creator. Really glad to join us here to show you guys some of his magic. So yeah, before we get started, give you a bit of brief backstory around Holoworld. We are building an ecosystem of agentic apps and IPs. Our flagship application is Ava Studios, which is a video model aggregator with a studio production like design with a suite of features baked in, most of which we will cover and get into today. So a bit of an agenda. We'll get everybody started with an account. I'll go through some templates. We'll briefly show the story remix integration that we did with the story team a couple weeks ago, and then go into a creative jam session with Kim breaking down a full video. So, all right, let's get started. If you're following along, you can head over to avastudios.com and get started. It should be login over here in the top right. Something you've probably seen, a million times by now. Standard privy login. Go ahead with socials, email, wallet, whatever you prefer. I always log in with the trusty Twitter. So once you log in, you'll be on the home page. Everybody that created a new account just now, or even if you're not following along, if you create an account anytime to partake in the buildathon, you'll get some free credits. 400, I believe it is, should be enough to get started. Create a few videos for the generative video track. So if you're following along, you'll be on the main page here. You'll have some project. You won't have any, if you just create an account, obviously. But if you scroll down, you'll be on the templates, which is what we call at Holoworld. Basically, they are a pre-made prompt and a pre-engineered creative design, right? So basically, you can pick anyone that you like that resonates with you. All you're doing is getting rid of Tong's Pudgy Penguin here. We'll add our man Ippy. And then click generate. So it's really that simple. Part of what, prompts are a good place to start learning. Because a lot of the video process is, like I said, the creative design, the creative angle is abstracted away from you. The prompt engineering is all done. Basically, you just find a video that you like, the style that you like, the direction, and then, just swap in your IP, your branding, your assets, your logos, whatever that may be.
Yeah, to add a little bit more. So the templates are usually extracted from viral videos that are already on TikTok. So yeah, so you're just basically putting in whichever image you want, whichever character you want, whichever brand logo you want onto the video. And yeah, it basically creates it for you. It's just one go. So
it's generating now. You see the image was already done. It used Nano Banana, which is a pretty world-class model. And then it's using Seedance Pro to turn this image into the video. Part of the power of Ava Studio is having that video model aggregator like design is being able to use multiple models within one single prompt and video. Because each model, I've noticed, and I'm certainly not an expert, but just I've kind of learned through going through the prompts here, each model has, their own strengths and weaknesses, right? So CKim can probably talk a bit more about, the strengths of, say, a Seedance Pro compared to the Nano Banana.
Banana, yeah. All right. So yeah, nice one. Yeah, so Seedance, I just recognize that it does create great animation videos. Seedance Pro actually does also give you multi-angles with consistency for characters of whichever character you chime in. So yeah.
There it goes. Sorry, I had a little issue there. But you can see the video is done. It made that 3D action figure of Ippy there. You can just export that. Bring Ippy figure to life. You can remove the watermark. So it's nice and clean for your company project, account to post, export, and that'll save the MP4. So that's really it for templates. You can see it's pretty, probably one of the quickest ways to get started creating a video. I'll quickly do another.
What?
Same thing here. Let's just get rid of Tong's Penguin.
Do you mind if you go scroll down a little bit? Scroll down a little bit from there. Not the prompt side, but the no. Like on the mukbang, the penguin eating food.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, just scroll down. Yeah, if you look there, you have the video length options also.
What?
Right. So you can create it 5 seconds, 10 seconds, whichever time you want it to be. So yeah, for now, just for the sake of the video, we are going after 5 seconds. So it's automatically generated.
Yeah, that's a good point. But I guess you'll notice too, some of the prompts, they hard code the duration in the design, which, if that's something you're not really wanting to get into.
Palmer, so Lewis asked, okay. Lewis asked, how are we handling the credits during the buildathon? So is Holoworld going to provide some credits for new users?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, anyone that created a new account, we'll go ahead and get 400 credits. It should be enough to create, a few videos. You can speak more to that. Obviously, if you're doing this one, that's going to eat up 200 credits. Just anytime you're using VO, it's going to get quite expensive. But CCAM, I believe, what do you think? The average video probably costs 25 credits.
It's actually a lot cheaper. So yeah, I mean, you do have a lot of options. We'll be going over the options later in the manual mode. You have Seedance Lite, you have high-low, which is actually excellent in quality, but really slow in production. So those cost 30 credits, right? So yeah, you have a variety of options. If you want it just to be quick, yet still high quality, you do go with VO 3.1. But most of the time, I personally just prefer Seedance Lite for cheap cost, or high-low for cheap cost and high quality, but just a little longer time.
Yeah, so that's great if you go with those. And you can see it's done here too.
Wow.
A little iffy there, crunching on some honeycombs.
That's cute.
So yeah, that's really it for templates. And it's really that simple to get started creating a video. As he mentioned, and CCAM, you can go ahead and start pulling up the
All righty, let's do it.
The story portal.
All right. All right, can you see my screen by any chance? Can you see my screen?
Yeah, we can see you.
Yeah, I can see my screen too. All righty. Yeah, so as you guys know, Story Protocol also integrated Ava Studio inside Story Protocol, so it gets really easy for any intellectual property characters or images to be used within Ava Studio. So for example, I think we can provide the link right in the chat later for the this page that we have right now. But yeah, you just go directly in, you do use this asset, and you scroll right and you find send to Ava Studio. Let's see. And it automatically tags in the image of the character you'd like in the Ava Studio director mode. So just to go over, along with Palmer's speak. So yeah, you do have template modes over here. And we will be adding a lot more stock templates, viral stocks, viral templates, or just overall created within the Holoworld team. And you have the director mode over here, right? So it's basically like you're talking to a director. So you just say, for example, create a cinematic video of this character exploring the, what should we say? Something like Amazon, maybe?
Yeah, and also feel free to throw out some creative ideas in the chat if you have any ideas for you want to see directing this.
Ancient, maybe Maya structure. It looks ancient and mystical from outside. So let's see. But as he enters, I'm going to pull this up from Indiana Jones, right, where there's alien technology inside.
That's funny. Lewis said Ippy eating spaghetti, and Razor wants Ippy to be transformed into Iron Man. You can just wait a second, Razor. We'll have some Iron Man. We'll have some Marvel things coming for you here too. That's funny.
Epic Lord of the Rings style background music to it. So actually, we will just briefly go over the director mode, like I said, and then you have the manual mode over here, which is you just creating right from scratch. So yeah, you have 3 in total: the manual modes and the director mode, where you're just talking to a director of a film, and you have the templates. So for example, if you do this, we get an overall story. The background music is also created along with it, so there's no copyright problems or anything like that. Yeah. So as soon as you do that, it generates a video Bible. So what a video Bible is basically a summary of the overall video that it's going to create, whether that's cinematic or some kind of action. So let's see, 30 seconds. It's all text-based for the video Bible. Yeah, it basically explains to you what it will create, what assets it will use, the scenes. So for example, if you'd like to add a scene, you can feel free to do it right away here. Let's see, yeah, but if it's all good, you can just press continue and it will create the asset images.
Luis asked, how many reference images can we add? 2 characters and backgrounds, first image and last image. So I think we can add 5 reference images, right?
Yeah, so it's all according to what the generation model could handle, right? So as you guys know, Ava Studio is an aggregate model of a variety of models. So it's all according to what it can handle. So it gives us the scenes, right? The overall scenes, the Amazon jungle, the Maya structure, exterior, and alien technology. And if it's all good, we can press continue. So I guess basically it will have IP go into the Amazon jungle Maya structure and enter the alien technology world inside the structure. All right. So I think most of the time with AI video generations is that you have a lot of waiting time, right? Especially at this time, I don't know why, but the usage of video generations are at the highest peak. So yeah, it does actually get a little slower. So, all right. So yeah, I guess we got these images and it will create the videos with these images. So after this process, the video creation will also take around 11 minutes, 12 minutes tops. And I think that would make our time a little too hasty. So I'll just go on to the manual mode this time. But if you guys want to, you can just press continue and it will create the video. And yeah, also if you guys think you need to save credits with specific video models you would like, yeah, you can just instruct the director mode to do it. So let's go on to the manual mode right away and check out which models there are. So yeah, so this is basically the manual mode, right? So it's basically, you can talk. So yeah, you can basically ask the LLM behind it to give you prompts or give you inspirations or whichever you want over here. And let's see. But if you want to start right away, like I do most of the time, you can do this. So it does give you the format of the media asset you would like to create, image or video. We have Nano Banana, GPT image, Context Max image in. And for video, we have, yeah, VO3, Sora 2, which is actually crazy these days. Kling and Cdance, Light and Pro, High Low, and Pixverse, Kling, and we also have the lip sync options. So let's see. So each model does provide its own thing. So for example, some models do provide first frame and last frame options, and some don't. And some are some just provide the first frame options. So keep that in mind. Yeah, so I guess we'll do something like this. So I don't know if this will work. So I think around a month ago, while K-pop Demon Hunters were going wild, people came up with these AI videos, right, of a movie set for K-pop Demon Hunters, and people were actually tricked that they were real. So can you see that screen?
Yeah.
The YouTube video, this guy with abs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. viral, right? It went crazy viral at this time.
That's cool.
So yeah, I think we'll try creating something like it. All right. So let's see. Let's see. We'll use now banana for this, and we'll use S.Y. Lee, singing Lee from Story Protocol, right? The founder. And yeah, let's make him a Hollywood movie star. Let's see. So we'll say create the Korean or Asian, we'll just say Asian actor in the image as a close-up shot. He should be standing up or sitting down, whichever you guys want. Face clearly visible and talking with the movie staffs in the VFX movie set. Lighting should have a sense of realism, right? To make it a little more realistic. So you guys can just come up with anything, right? And you can press this. So this actually makes it prompt worthy. Or you can just go ahead and try testing it out like me. Let's see if it works.
So what did that little wand do?
Yeah, so for example, you say, oh yeah, oh, it's a dang. Looks realistic. What do you guys think, chat? All right.
That's
Yeah,
fun.
so you can come up with anything really. So for example, yeah, Chad, give me some recommendations of what he should wear. Not to how should I say?
Anyone got ideas?
Yeah.
What he should wear?
Give me.
Someone said
Don't
Iron
make
Man
him wear a
earlier.
bikini, right?
Someone said Iron Man earlier. What about going
Iron
in
Man?
that vein? Marvel.
Okay. Little too cliche, but we'll try it, I guess. Just kidding. I like Iron Man. All right. He should be standing up.
More of a Captain America fan.
Sorry, what you say?
I said you more of a Captain America fan.
All right, so let's make him Captain America, and he is wearing a Captain America inspired, I guess, right? Outfit. All right. Sorry, the video chat is okay. Regenerate. Let's see what it comes up with.
Okay, cool. So that's basically it. Already generated your first image on that same prompt.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. He worked out. He worked out these days, I think. Yeah. All right. So, what do you guys think, Chad? Do you like this one to be made to a video, or the former one to be made to a video?
It looks like they like this one.
Y'all like this one? Or
yeah, they like this one.
All right. So so once you like an image, you can just basically press animate. And yeah, like I said, you have a variety of models over here, right? But let's go with the cheapest one and the fastest one right now, which is Seedance Lite, 30 credits, 5 seconds. To make it more realistic and natural. Sorry?
Someone mentioned try on Sora.
On Sora. So Sora, actually, even on its platform itself, you can't really do reference images of a real human being due to what you call, man, I forgot that word. Being it too real, basically, right? And you can do all kinds of things, right?
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, you put that on CT or Telegram, and you suddenly have SY shilling airdrops and all that. Suddenly, right? So you don't want that.
We don't want anything like that. All right, let's continue on here then.
All right, so let's say
that's Reb. That's it.
So let's see. The scene is in a VFX film set.
Hey, Luis, yeah, we have an API.
Do we have an API? Do we
Yes.
have an API? Ava Studio?
I believe so. I believe so. Let me double check with the dev team and get back to you, Luis.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the API part. I'm not really a dev over here, but yeah. Let's see. There are film set staffs, and there is a Captain America inspired Korean hero. The Korean Captain America inspired. Oh, my bad. Korean hero is talking with the staffs. All right, let's see what it gives us. So I'm trying to be as realistic as possible with this. But yeah, you can come up with all sorts of crazy things, right? Suddenly have him throw a water bottle, I don't know, to someone, or someone throws a water bottle at him. All sorts of things, actually.
Yeah. Well, for the sake of time, we only have 4 more minutes, so let's.
Oh, we do.
Try.
Oh man. Okay. Yeah, I guess this.
Sometimes we can get lost in the sauce.
Yo, man, we're gonna create Ippy with some other crazy outfits, as well as Jacob.
Maybe we could get to that quickly.
Yeah, I think the generation of the video would wrap it up, though. All right. So this would take around 2 to 3 minutes.
Perfect. We got 3 minutes left. Go ahead and generate that.
Oh man, it sucks, man. I hoped we could come up with some crazy things with the chat, you know, in the realistic video of this Hollywood setting. Yeah, so usually when I'm waiting for the video to be generated, I just go onto YouTube and look for cinematic trailers and all that kind of things. And yeah, and you get inspirations. You can basically copy and paste the images to Nano Banana and have your character also attached to it and ask it to create some kind of mixed up version of it, and it will do it perfectly fine. I think the usage of Seedance Lite is really high right now because it doesn't take this long, really.
So is that based on the traffic?
Yeah, it's all based on the traffic, right? So, for example, if Seedance has really high traffic right now, it's going to request a lot of video generations to their servers, and yeah, it just slows things.
Okay. So Reb asked, is it doing the work on a local device, and will it generate faster if I'm not doing anything else? So that's why this is taking so long, right? It's not really.
No, actually not. So it's all according to the model's company, right? How big of a server they have. I think
Seedance is seeing a lot of traffic right now.
Yeah, I noticed. Yeah. Oh, we only have 1 minute left. Yeah. So one thing I should tell you is that usually this Seedance Lite takes around 2 minutes. Yesterday, Palmer, when we tried it, it took around 2 to 3 minutes max, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So I think, especially today, I don't know, maybe a lot of people are on Ava Studio right now doing the same thing. I don't know.
Creating content on Fridays.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just taking a long time right now. But yeah, it's so in conclusion, it's not doing it on a local device. Yeah, everyone in the workshop.
Sorry, Reb.
All right. Yeah, I think we'll have to wrap it up though. The time is up. But yeah, I'd like to conclude by saying it usually takes around 2 to 3 minutes maximum for Seedance Lite, whether that be 5 to 10 seconds, which you have the options over here, 12 seconds actually. And yeah, it just comes out perfectly fine. I think you guys can personally try it, sign up for the Ava Studio and get some free credits and try it yourself. And I think
maybe you can do the chat justice and finish this video.
Yeah, I'll try that
for the buildathon.
Yeah, let's do it. Video, actually, animate.
Yeah, we'll share the result with Rebecca and add it to the summary. That sounds good, Ramses.
Let's say you're talking. That's it. 3 seconds. 2 more minutes. Let's try this. Sorry, Rebecca. Yeah.
That's okay. It might actually be, Reb might be right. It might be that everyone is trying it out all at once, and therefore we've inadvertently slowed down your progress.
I didn't know we were that popular.
But yeah, really cool. Otherwise, even while that's generating, a really, really cool tool that people can use during the buildathon. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what hopefully non-AI slop videos are produced if people are putting a lot of time and work into their prompting. Everyone, I hope you found both of the workshops today really useful, both if you're going for the technical bounties and the AI video ones. As I said, for those of you who joined late, the workshop recording will be available soon, so you can catch up on that if you missed anything. And if you do share the results of the video generation with me, I'll put them on the, well, attached to the workshop recording is probably the best so that people can see the results.
Sorry, Rebecca. S.Y. Lee is talking right now. Yeah, but I think his voice is muted though. Sorry about that. Yeah. Yeah, we'll fix the voice problem for S.Y. Lee for next time, I guess. Yeah, but the video is great.
Very cool. Very, very cool. Thank you for coming, everyone. Thank you, CK and Bitcoin Karma for coming and delivering this workshop. It's Friday, so I hope everyone is looking forward to a productive weekend in the Buildathon. And next week we have a few more workshops where you can come and learn about some new cool tools that you might want to use in the Buildathon. But otherwise, we're getting into the period where you just start building, which is my favorite part of the Buildathon. So I hope everyone is feeling inspired and you're looking forward to your weekend. I'll let everyone go now and we'll share the links and stuff that you guys need. Otherwise, see you all very soon. And thank you again to our speakers for today.
All right. Thank you guys for the time.
Good weekend.
All right. Have a great weekend.
Bye.